Hello, Libra. Thank you so much, you guys, as always, for being here. You are very, very appreciated. Okay, Libra, so looking at your second week of November, you're coming in with enlightenment, new beginnings, and revenge. Very simply, some of you are getting clarity, and it's allowing you to have a new beginning in your life where you're no longer harboring any grudges or anger toward how you've been treated by others, in work situations, whatever it may be. But more specifically, things have been blocked for you. And I think that there is this like aha moment and understanding why somebody was not being there for you. That's what I want to say here. Revenge talks about this kind of like anger over not getting the support that you need. The sentence for this says, there is no white knight, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. So, right, like being really upset over the fact that you've been let down. And, you know, for some of you, it's realizing that the only person that's going to rescue you is you, right? Now, that's not going to be for everybody, but what I love here with enlightenment, it's like, okay, everything is clear now. Now I understand. It's understanding why things have been blocked for you in such a way that it creates the opportunity to have a new beginning. Or being able to start something that has been put off or put on hold. But the clarity that's coming through, I think, is going to be showing you how angry you may have been about the fact that, you know, you weren't supported. Like, I get the feeling of, you know, you should have been there for me. You of all people should have been there for me. Now, obviously, that's not going to be for everybody, but that's kind of what I'm getting from that. But I think that, you know, again, with enlightenment and new beginnings, you wouldn't be having a new beginning if you were continuing to stay in that cycle. I just think that that's something you're becoming aware of now. Okay, Libra, you're overall the Queen of Cups, so it's all about how you are feeling. This is being very intuitive emotionally, not just with yourself, but with others around you, like being aware of how everyone's feeling. But do you know what belongs to you and what doesn't, right? She, for me, has the tendency to be taken advantage of emotionally. You know, and I say that with revenge showing up. But the Queen of Cups, you know, it's being more in tune with how you're feeling. And being aware of how supportive you are to others emotionally. And making sure that it's not draining you. Now, this could also be, you know, you being in those loving emotions because of a person. But we'll see how she's playing out. But that's definitely what you're internalizing. The past, the lovers. Okay. So, the lovers in the past, you know, besides choosing love here, we're talking about a very significant relationship, right? This is the one. So we could be talking about a relationship in the way that you saw it in the past and how you felt about it. And this may be something coming back through that's like stirring up these emotions for you again. You know, I'm not going to complain because I'm glad that I'm getting a love reading here. Because what I've been seeing, man, some people are going through some difficult things. My goodness. The Knight of Cups in the present. So this absolutely could be a very significant person in your life that you have had feelings for that may be coming through and making that communication again, or offering you some kind of emotional connection, or possibly offering you some emotional support. Right, but this is somebody who is acting from how they're feeling. Now, if this is you, you know, there's the needing to be aware of how your emotions are causing you to act, but that could be because of somebody very specific. Now, if we're talking about a long-term relationship here, with the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups, this is like a renewal in your emotional connection, which is really good to see. Look at that. Beautiful. It's beautiful. And right, like with enlightenment and new beginnings and letting go of, who was and wasn't there for you or whatever may have happened. The Ten of Cups and future conditions with the Queen of Cups, you're at home. You are at home in your happiness. And this is really beautiful to see, right? This is what you would want to see in a relationship reading. This could absolutely be somebody that you have history with, that may be offering some emotional support where you may not have been getting that. And it may lead to this very happy, content situation with the Ten of Cups. Like, here's my happily ever after. How am I feeling about it? But this is all beautiful. Your best path to follow, the Two of Wands, right? Be aware that it is you that makes the choice to act. If you want something to happen here, you're going to have to make a choice to act on this. And this could be for those of you who have somebody coming through. And there may be a question of like, starting this relationship, but it being everything that the both of you want. But the Two of Wands, right? It's needing to make a choice to act. Because you can have things the way that you want them to be. In your environment, the Six of Wands, okay, so, this is recognition that may be coming through. So if you've had any accomplishments recently, this may be the acknowledgement of that and somebody seeing that and wanting to offer a connection to you. But this is victory, right, and recognition. And this could absolutely be somebody trying to get your attention, or you them. But either way, you're in a very beautiful place here. And I think that with the Six of Wands in your environment, if you're having that person finally come through and offer, the emotional support that you may have been lacking, right? This is victory in that situation. And it's almost like, I want to be recognized for making a choice here to make that connection. Especially if we're talking about a long-term relationship where there may have been issues in the past. And again, I only say that because of the oracle cards. But this absolutely could be, some kind of recognition for something that you did. And this person may be coming through going, hey, I really connect with you on this situation that you're doing. Right? And this may be the choice to have a really good connection with a business partner even. But, obviously with the Lovers here, I think we're talking about somebody who holds very much a level of importance to you, that they're just somebody that you won't forget. Your hopes and your fears, the world, right? So the new beginning, but needing to finish out the past, right? We're wanting closure. We're wanting closure so that, all possibilities are open now. And again, I kind of go back to this. I think for you, if you make the choice to take action on this, this is going to be you being at home, being happy, having everything that you want emotionally where you may not have been getting that before. And you may be opening up to a new love situation too. But the world, again, there's the successful completion. It's the closure of the cycles that you've been going through. It's over and it's done with. And this would be like hoping this is finally it. I finally get to have that connection that I've been wanting, right? And then coming out the Three of Wands. and this is what I'm talking about. So If you find yourself in a situation where somebody is trying to make a connection to you, this is somebody that is very significant. And this may be what you have been, emotionally internalizing in terms of what you want from a relationship. But I feel like this is somebody from the past coming through here. Now, for some of you, absolutely, it's about not being swayed by temptation, choosing what you love, following your heart, getting recognition for that, finding your happily ever after, right? Being aware that it's up to you to make the choice to act on this in order to get to this place. And the Three of Wands, it's like, what else could possibly, happen in a good way? Like, what else could we do? What else can we see? Where else can we go? And I don't think it's waiting for this situation to happen. Active waiting is the Three of Wands. I really think that when you get to this place where you're finally at your happily ever after, this is, what other pathways can I take? What other actions have you taken that'll open up other opportunities to come to you? But the Three of Wands, absolutely, right? Like doing some traveling. And you may be actively waiting for somebody to come home. It's like preparing for that person to come back and the connection to like get recognized again, be started again, right? And for all of that to be over with in a way where you get to be happy. The Six of Pentacles, so equal give and take. The Knight of Pentacles. And then the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so very much, I think that for some of you, you may be wanting to take a situation slowly, right? Like, now this is going to be for those of you who are looking at a situation that would lead to what you perceive to be as your happily ever after, if somebody's coming through making an offer, right? The Three of Wands, it's checking in with yourself and how you feel, and ultimately it's up to you to choose. Whatever action you take, it's completely up to you. But with the Two of Wands, if you're creating your world, how do you see it? Which direction are you going to take it in? But making the choice to act. The Three of Wands, it may be you looking at what else is available to you if you have choices. With the Six of Pentacles, though, and the Lovers here, we're talking about equal give and take, wanting to have that in this relationship, and this may be what you're waiting for, right? To have something received here. And I do, for some of you, it feels like somebody coming home. But in terms of, what you choose in love, you absolutely want to have a situation where there's that equal give and take. But this may be you willing to give to that now. And with the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, we're taking things slowly. Wanting to have a kind of like plan moving forward. And literally like planning a wedding, right? But the Knight of Pentacles, it's slow, methodical movement, but it's for the intention of long-term growth. Continued long-term growth. And the Nine of Pentacles, looking at the Ten of Cups, for some of you, the choice may be to stay single. For others of you, it's, being able to be emotionally independent while somebody else is doing something. Like they may be traveling somewhere for work. Some of them just are not home for whatever reason, right? The Nine of Pentacles would be being independent, especially with the Queen of Cups being the overall. But, enjoying what you have together. If we're talking about this relationship that you want to see go the long haul. You don't want to rush anything here, right? But the choice is ultimately yours. So Libra, there's a couple of ways to look at this depending on, how you are seeing your relationships right now. But it looks like to me that there's an opportunity for you to take the action necessary to get to what your happily ever after looks like. And is that in a relationship? Or is that you kind of doing things on your own? you know, or we could be talking about like a long distance relationship here, right? But either way, you're at home. I keep going to this, you're at home. You're at home where you belong. You're happy where you're at. The solar plexus, and I go back to the Two of Wands on that. That's your will to act. You know, ultimately you're going to have to make the choice, right? Balance. And then honor yourself. Okay. Yeah, so very much there's this kind of feeling of, if you're wanting balance in a relationship, you know, obviously you want to be aware of what you're receiving versus what you're getting. You want that to be equal, right? But I'm wondering if you're waiting for somebody else to make the choice to act. And maybe the advice here is that you need to do that instead of waiting for it. But regardless, your solar plexus, there needs to be balance before you activate your will to do something. Make sure that you're honoring yourself. If you don't want to be in something long term, then make sure that, you know, you're being true to yourself, right? Like if you want to remain single, so to speak, or see what else is available to you. But balance is going to be needed. Make sure that you're honoring yourself before you activate your will to act. Time to give rather than take. This card, I'm telling you, I've seen so much of it. But with the Queen of Cups being the overall, it's giving to yourself. No longer looking at the outer world to create that happiness, right? And then have faith in your dreams. And this may have to do with, you know, the way that you picture a relationship, what your relationship should look like, where you want that to be. Like, I feel like, you know, especially looking at your oracle cards, if you have not been emotionally supported in relationships and you are wanting to have this happily ever after picture that you have in your mind, just because of what you may have been through in the past doesn't mean it still can't happen. Right? So I feel like that's where having faith comes in. But giving to yourself and nurturing yourself and your emotions. Make sure that you're taking care of you. You know, honoring yourself and doing what you feel like is going to be right for you.